All right. Can you guys see the pot? Danielle, can you see the pot?
Yes, we can see the pot.
Okay, great. Okay, so what I usually do when I'm doing vegetarian collard greens, the most important thing is your brew because you don't have meat. So you want to make sure that you have like all your essential veggies in there. And I have like some vegetable stock in there. And I am a meat eater, okay? So usually you have your water boiling like this. And I do like meat, so you can use any kind of stock you want, but for this demonstration, I'm using like the organic vegetable stock, and that's from Whole Foods, and this doesn't cost very much. It's like this whole big bottle costs me about like $2.30, and you can refrigerate it when you're finished. So I put the collard greens, the vegetables in there, like all of the vegetables that I like, and try to get this water a little bit hotter. So I just put half an onion and half a bell pepper in the greens. And then I also use ginger. So I use this ginger. You can get, this is a ginger paste. You can cut up ginger if you want to. You can use, powdered ginger, whatever you like, so like maybe like 2 squirts of that. And then I like garlic in my greens. And then you see the amount of water I have. I don't have a whole lot of water. And the reason why is because, see, collard greens, they start to make their own water. So if you put too much water in it, then what will happen is that you'll just have like a bunch of water and you miss out on all of the seasonings that you can put into your collard greens. So I usually use like the minced garlic. I'll use this, or I'll use the one from Trader Joe's, and that's the one that I really love when we go to Trader Joe's. Or they even have garlic that's smoked, and I don't have any smoked garlic because if you put in like smoked garlic, kind of like gives it that meat kind of like flavor to it for those that do like meat. So I go and I put some garlic in it, and I'm on camera, but usually I don't do all of this measuring like I do, but I figured it would be of help. So like I maybe put a tab of garlic in it to start, because you don't want your collard greens to be overly garlicky, and garlic can take on a really strong flavor sometimes. And then you can put like a little pepper. Now, when I have like friends that like hot and spicy, I usually will put some jalapeno in there, but I'm not gonna put any jalapeno today inside of the collard greens. And so you just let it boil like this. And once it starts to boil, all right, then you can taste it. So here's the secret. I use golden brown sugar. And the reason why I use it with my collards, because like I said, collards sometimes are tart and they have like a tart taste. You could choose to do whatever you want. If you don't want to use this sugar, you don't have to. They have all kinds of sugars now where they have this other sugar where it's, I don't know if anybody ever seen this, is organic brown coconut sugar. And those low glycerin in it. And so I'm not going to put that in there today, but I have used this and it's very, very good. It tastes just like brown sugar. but it gives you like a little bit of like that little, a little different of a coconut taste. So I usually put, I like measure the sugar that I'm putting in it. I mean, brown sugar is better than refined sugar, but it's still sugar. All right. And so for those that can't do sugar at all, you could maybe try honey. I've tried honey and it tastes good as well. So I put a little bit of sugar in it like this. All right. And you see how it's like boiling now?
So, Shawan, so how do you know, well, you know how much sugar to put in, but for those of us who don't cook like me, because I'm taking notes while you're doing this, what do you think the amount of sugar should be, you should put in?
The reason why is you could do a taste test. And so I'm gonna like see how it's boiling now. I'm gonna taste this and then I'll be able to, see how much, I want in it. You don't have to, I don't like when it comes to sugar, I think it's taste of how you taste. And, if it's too sweet, because you don't want to make them too sweet, so if you just start off like I did, and that's like a tab, even though I didn't measure it, I know that it's like a tad of sugar, but you can get like one of these little measuring things that says like a tad, but like once you start cooking, you kind of like don't need this anymore. And you just know what a tad is. So I'm gonna stir this and then I'm gonna taste this. Cause see the key to making good collard greens is the flavor. So if it tastes good to you, if this tastes good, then you can add your collard greens. Okay, so I put all of the bell peppers, I put the onions in. And then I have this vegetable broth. It tastes really good because I can taste, that's why I said I wish we had smell-o-vision or taste-o-vision, but it tastes really good. And it tastes the way I would like it to taste. And it kind of like almost tastes like a little bit of meat is in it. And that's from all of the vegetables. And see, you don't put a lot of water in it because vegetables like onions, bell peppers, they make their own water too, just like the collard greens. So once you see a rolling broth, once it starts rolling like this, then that's when you want to add your collard greens. And I've like kind of like put my collard greens aside so they're a little bit dry, but they're still a little bit moist, at the bottom. All right. So you just drop them in. And then you're gonna let them cook down. This was about like 5 bushels of collard greens.
That's a lot of collard greens.
Yes, but see, collard greens cook down, so it really depends on how many people that you're serving, because this is gonna cook down to like maybe 4 or 5 servings of collard greens. And so you can use, I really like this pot. This is it's a Dutch oven, large pot. This is the first time, like maybe 2 or 3 times that I've cooked with this, but you see how it looks and you see how there's still water in it. You want to make sure you have water, but if I add more water, it's going to be too much water because the collard greens they're going to cook down and all of the vegetables are going to make their own water within this pot. And then at this point, you can season it if you need a little bit more, like if you need a little bit more pepper. If you notice, I don't use salt, and I stopped using salt like maybe 40 years ago. Not 40, but 30 years ago. I'm not that old. But I stopped using salt like 30 years ago. And because I really like the natural flavors of the food. And so what you do is you turn your pot down to like a simmer. Okay. Like not like all the way, but just enough where it like simmers down. And the collard greens are gonna cook down. This is enough water for these collard greens. And then you just put the lid on it. And then I would say for this amount of collard greens, maybe for about like 20 or 25 minutes, they should be done. Here I go again. Maybe 20 or 25 minutes, they should be nice and done, and you can taste them. Now, I'm kind of like the person where you have to watch your collard greens because you don't want them to get soggy. You want them still to have somewhat of a bite or a crunch to it. So you want to watch them so they don't do that, because they will become that, and then you'll have spinach. You don't want spinach. You want a nice collard green, and then you can put like maybe some baked chicken on the side, baked fish if you're a meat lover, or you could just have collard greens and you can make cornbread. My grandmother used to always make hot water cornbread. I don't know how to make hot water cornbread, but I know how to make regular cornbread. But you can have some type of bread or something at the side. And so when I'm finished, some people, like, what they do is when your collard greens are almost done, they'll put some oil inside of the collard greens. I use the virgin olive oil. My cousin, God bless her soul, my cousin Regina, she taught me how to make collard greens too. And my grandmother taught me how to cook, but she taught me how to make collard greens. We used to always say, Gina's mean greens, okay? And but she used to use like Crisco oil, just like a little capful, not a lot. And that's just the kind of like to make your collard greens moist, and they look pretty. It gives it like a little pretty. This is when it's almost done. And then some people, when they eat collard greens, I know my cousin, she will always put vinegar in hers when it's done. I particularly, it depends on how I feel, if I want to have vinegar on my collard greens, but I like to use wine vinegar. She used to use like regular vinegar, but this one kind of like gives it, kind of like, it still tastes like vinegar, but it's a wine, kind of like grape taste. So that's when it's done. Some people choose to put it in all of their collard greens. I'll put mine at the side because not everybody likes vinegar. And never forget the hot sauce. If you don't like jalapenos like me, I like to put my own hot sauce on it. And those are the people, if you like some type of spice, but not too much spice. But that's it for me. Any questions?
Yeah, and so, but I'm not.
Great. Have you ever tried cooking Jewish at all, Marco?
I have not tried cooking anyway.
So you might try it right now.
I don't know. It's a lot of noise, but you can see how the collard greens are doing. There's somebody that has to put their phone on mute, I think. I don't know.
So there's a.
It seems like I have.
Hi. Where did you get the beautiful greens?
I got it from Costco. Hi.
Oh, they were so pretty. I thought, oh, maybe you got them in someone's yard. That's Costco. All right. They were very beautiful. I know they're gonna taste good. I wish,
you know what? I wish I could grow my own greens. I'm trying to grow grapes right now.
Oh, have to wait a couple of years for those, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Marco, it seems to be two of me, and I don't know why that is. Marco?
Marco, I don't know, but you're muted.
I'm muted?
No, Marco is muted.
Oh, okay, because Danielle, it seems to be two of me and it shouldn't be. So I'm not quite
Are you
sure why
on
that
your
is.
phone and your laptop?
And I don't have my laptop on.
Okay, let me see if I can you mute yourself?
Okay, I can.
Okay, okay, there we go. Now can we hear you on the end?
For some reason, there's two of me, and the one that I'm talking, where you can see my face, that's the phone I'm on. I'm not on another device.
Okay,
So I think that maybe if you can move that person out.
okay. Oh, God.
So
I
as
just want to make
we,
sure that when
as
we
we,
get rid of your second name, that we're not getting rid of you, because on the participants, I won't be able
When
to
you're
tell what
talking, Danielle, that the microphone that's double Shawan is moving when you're talking. If you notice that.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
but we have to go with two of you for now. Can we hear you? Can we hear you, Swan? Can you hear us?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you mentioned about, it was asked about the beautiful greens. And you mentioned about growing your own greens. So I wanted to shout out for the seed lending library and here at AMLO. And we have some seeds, organic seeds. We have greens here, a lot of vegetables in our seed lending library. It is free to the public. You come in, you have small envelopes, you choose a jar and by all means, get some seeds and make sure you ID them. The only thing that we ask is that you take them home, grow them in small gardens or small containers or garden, that's totally up to you, and then bring them back. That's why we call it the seed lending library. And if you haven't been to AMLO, please visit us. We are now open to the public, full capacity as of, I believe, a couple of days ago. So as you walk into the foyer, the entry, you'll see a card catalog. That card catalog is where we started our seed lending library. It's an old fashioned catalog from the 60s, probably. And so we are here to serve the public. That's why everything is for free. Our events are for free. So once you go into the seed lending library, you will notice that all the seeds now are in jars. However, as I mentioned, they were in a card catalog. We did so well with the card catalog. Community just reached out to us and said, wow, this is amazing and everything is for free. So I decided to expand it. And now it's the AMLO's fourth department. So please visit us, come and get some seeds, grow them. And I always, can we get back to Shawan if there's any more questions? I just wanted to briefly invite you to visit AMLO. And also, we have some titles here, recipes. We are a non-circulating library, so you won't be able to check these books out. However, our librarian and our library assistant can let you know where you can find these books at other libraries, and we can put them on hold for you. Marco's going to go over the book titles for you. So in brief, Marco.
So we have, so the titles that we have here include New Soul Cooking by Tanya Holland, The Cooking Genie by Michael Twitty, Vegan Soul Kitchen, The Rise by Marcus Samuelson, and Taste of Africa by Rosamund Grant. And those books are also been put into the chat as well.
Also, I want to mention as well the book that I shared with you from the AMLO archives in West Oakland, Soul Food Cookbook. What we're going to do is, it has, a lot of our collection has been digitalized, so we're going to send the link out for you so you can browse through this wonderful recipe book from, actually it's from the late 60s. So keep that in mind as well. But I want to get back to Shawan. So if you have any questions, please feel free right now while we have Shawan here. I know that some of you, I want to share something with you as we speak here regarding vegetarians. I have several friends that are meat eaters, and now because of a lot of talk that we do here at AMLO on nutrition, as well as the talk that I do with amongst my friends, some of my friends have decided to become a vegetarian. So is there anyone out there that can share some insight on how to wean yourself off of meat and to being a vegetarian? So think about that. Right now, I'm going to ask Marco, because Marco, I've been knowing Marco for about 15 years, and Marco is a vegetarian and he's pretty strict about it. So Marco, how did you shed your meat desires and become a vegetarian?
I just decided one day that I was through with meat and went cold turkey, haven't eaten it anymore.
And what do you eat in place of meat?
There's a lot of tofu products that I actually eat. So tofurkey, seitan, they have tofurkey burgers and things like that.
Okay, thank you, Marco. Also, I was talking with my librarian, and she is sort of interested in becoming a vegetarian. So Danielle, if you can hear me, I want you to weigh in on this conversation. What did you think about Shawan's presentation with those delicious collard greens? Is that something that you think that you would enjoy, or do you need to have some meat in there?
I feel like her presentation was beautiful. It looked lively, and I would definitely want her to come by and drop me off a bowl. But like when culture calls, like I need to have that fat back in my greens. I just do. But I would experiment to see. I probably have a little bit of both, so that way I can try to have some balance. But I'm kind of hooked on that old school.
Listen, after you eat mine, I think I can change your mind.
I think you can too, Danielle. So Shawan, I know you're not really a strict vegetarian, but you do eat meat. So if you were making these greens, what kind of meat would you actually put in the greens?
I smoked turkey from
yeah.
Hope. Yeah, smoked turkey was what I would put in it. Like I said, I used to use neck bones and I stopped doing that because, you know, I'm getting older, and when I was eating the neck bones, they would give me a headache. So I would have lots of headaches. But the smoked turkey, Whole Food used to have smoked turkey. And I think that when we had all of the fires, I understand their smokehouse was burned down. So the next best place you can, you know, go is Trader Joe's. Sometimes you can pick up some smoked meats from them, or Safeway is another place where you can get smoked turkey. And then you can do like the smoked turkey drumstick, or you can do the smoked turkey thigh if you like that. Thigh is a little bit more greasier, but all you need is one.
Sounds good. Okay, Danielle, do you have any questions for Shawan?
Yes, there is a question in the chat, and if anybody else has any questions for her or wants to talk to her directly, you can either do the raise your hand feature or you can leave your question in the chat. So G wants to know, where did you get the beautiful greens from?
Whole Foods. Whole Foods in Dublin.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anyone that is chiming in on this event that grows greens in their yard? Okay, I was just curious to know, when you're growing greens in your yard, I was told the taller they are, the tougher they are. Juwan, do you, with your experience with greens, how do you know if greens are gonna be tender? Or is it the way that you cook them makes them tender? Or
Yes.
are the younger greens more tender than the older greens?
Well, collard greens a little bit more tougher, and I think that's one of the reasons why, if they, like just before they're done, put a little bit of oil. I can do olive oil. You can use Crisco oil, and you can put a little capful. When I say a little, I mean like a capful. You know, but I don't. Well, from what I heard, because I'm going to grow some greens because I like to buy them and it costs so much money. It depends where you get your greens. My godfather, he sent me some seeds from North Carolina, and he says that those are the best greens. All right, so we'll see.
That sounds good. Okay, Danielle, do you have any questions in the chat?
No, I don't see any more questions right now, but if anyone does have a question, please feel free to leave it in the chat so we can ask Ms. Shawan.
And the greens, as you can see, they're almost done. I'm gonna angle my camera so you can see a little bit better. I hope everybody can kind of like see that. It's hard to navigate when I can't see. So you see how they're changing? This like really bright green color. Okay, they're almost done. And you can even taste your greens, you know, don't feel bad, you know, just taste them and see if that's the way you want them to taste. But you see, you don't need all that water. If I had added more water, as you can see, it would have been too much water in it. And then instead of you having, you know, a nice green, you would have had a whole bunch of water, and that takes away the flavor of your greens. But like I said, when you're almost finished, you put a little bit of oil in it, just a capful. I don't know if people were watching while Beta was talking. I also use this other stuff called garlic oil because I just wanted a little bit more garlic taste in my greens. So this is really good. Like you can see, it's almost gone. So, and then once they're done, you know, you turn them off and you can keep them on the oven. You can keep them in this pot and they stay warm for a while in certain kinds of pots you use. And then you can serve them to your family.
Juwan, how do you store them? You can't eat all those greens in one day. What's the best way to store them?
You can put them in a bowl and, you know, with a lid on it and put them in the refrigerator. I don't keep my greens past 3 days. After that, it's done, you know, for me. Or some people, they freeze them. I don't like freezing my greens because I feel that, you know, they change, they start wilting. So maybe 3 days, put them in a pot, a top in the bowl and put them in the refrigerator. And then when you want to reheat them again, you can just put them in a small pot and reheat. You don't have to take out what you want to reheat. You don't have to reheat the whole pot up again.
Let's see. Well, there are more questions.
I do have a question for Ms. Shawan.
Mm-hmm.
Does she have a preference or her recommendations between different green types, like mustard greens, collard greens, and so forth.
I like to mix them. This is the first day that I'm using collard greens just by itself. Usually Trader Joe's has like a mixture of greens, but they only come around seasonally. So you can't get them every day, but I like collards and I like to put the mustards together. Trader Joe's sometimes have like turnips inside of this little mixture. Not turnips, but kale. It's like a kale leaf. So it has like it's called like super greens. And they're already cut up and they're cleaned. So I don't really have a preference because I just love collard greens, and they keep you regular. That's a good thing. My grandfather, he used to actually drink the juice of the collard greens, and it kept him regular and healthy. So greens are good for your body. They're good for your energy. Experiment with them, have fun with them, put whatever spices that you like inside of your greens.
Thank you.
Sounds good. You're making me really hungry. It's too bad
Very
that
nice.
you can't ship the greens Federal Express to okay, I'm a little staff. That's what they keep waving. Now, what about the greens? What are you gonna do with all those greens? But okay, Danya, any more questions?
No, there are currently no more questions in the chat.
Well, thank you for having me,
Okay.
Vina, as always.
Shawan, thank you. I mean, it was sort of last minute notice. But the recipes, the books that I have in front of me from the reference library gives everyone an opportunity to know that AMLO is a source of many wonderful resources. And so utilize this wonderful institution. Today is a wonderful celebration, Juneteenth. People are going on picnics and going on tours, and we love that. I am actually sitting in our museum gallery, and I chose this corner of the gallery because of the images that are behind me. And here especially, we're looking at, I don't know whether you can, Marco, let me know, but these beautiful, wonderful ladies here that they are at a picnic and they are sharing some delicious food and celebrating. So today is a celebration. We have a lot to be grateful for. We do know that the journey is not over for us, but it is a step in the right direction. Keep in mind, AMLO's open now from Monday through Saturday. Our hours are extended hours now, 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Friday, we don't open until noon. So every day but Friday, we're open from 10 to 5:30. Friday, we're open 12 to 5:30, and Sundays we're closed. Now, I'm getting a lot of calls for tours. Marco had quite a few tours today early on. We've had a lot of visitors today because it is a celebration of the Juneteenth. So if you're interested in having a tour, please feel free to give us a call. If you want to make reservations for a certain day or a certain time, then you need to make reservations. However, if you feel like a Saturday afternoon that you want to tour AMLO, you need no reservation. You want to just come on in between 12 and 1 o'clock, and we'll be happy to give you a wonderful tour of this institution. In closing, I want to thank the AMLO staff and they're my friends as well. As I mentioned early on, my thoughts and prayers and AMLO's thoughts and prayers go out to Chef Roslynn DeCuir. We're gonna bring her back as soon as she is able to come back. But today is very special. I want to show my appreciation by just doing a shout out to Miss Chuan Anderson, letting us into her home, a beautiful home and a beautiful kitchen. And she could be a chef. That is just one recipe she has up her sleeve. She has other wonderful dishes that she has shared with her family and friends. So if there aren't any questions, I want to thank all of you for taking the time out to spend your Juneteenth, part of it at least, with AMLO. And keep in mind, this is the friends and stewards of AMLO. This is their home base. And you can see they have supplied me with many things to support all the events here. If you become a member, you want to let us know. You have VIP privileges. So you need to call here or go to the Friends and Stewards of the African American Museum and Library's website. Check it out and be a member. Support this institution. That's what it's all about. Yes, it's Juneteenth. Yes, it's a celebration. Enjoy the rest of your day. And this is Vita, and I call this Cooking with Vita and Friends. Take care. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you again. Ciao.
Right.